Hello and welcome to episode 30 of the Swim Run Show podcast. Loads to catch up on, including the World Championships that happened over in Sweden, loads of racing in the UK in September. I'm going to come to all of that after our guest, very special guest, Helen Wikmar, CEO of Arc Sports and very accomplished swim runner herself. She's no stranger to the podium. She won OtillO in 2022. That was the super cold year, racing with Emma Womberg, winning the female category. And third place in the World Champs 2019. And loads of podium finishes across the World Series races over the last 4 or 5 years. She's also not long back from One Water Race, which we'll hear about. And if you've not heard of Arc Sports, they are, I think it's fair to say, the leading swim run brand, company, innovator. They are swim runners, so it makes sense that they make really good swim run kit. And yeah, we like it. All my opinions are based on experience, honest opinions based on experience, which I'll touch on at the end as well of the show, with another look back. Well, a look back at the World Champs and WX Swim Run, which happened on Sunday, just gone, and a look ahead to what's coming up. So, before all that, though, Helen Wikmar, here we go. Okay, Helen Wikmar, CEO of Arc Sports and excellent swim runner and athlete adventurer herself. How are you, Helen?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm good. And you?
I'm good. Well, I'm okay. I've got a bit of a cold, but nothing too bad.
You survived at least?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So lots to talk about with Helen. I suppose most recently, the World Champs happened. You're normally racing, of course. This year you were on the course, but not necessarily racing. I noticed you were covering the front of the pack, I think. How was that?
So first, I mean, I had a big FOMO, like fear of missing out of this amazing race. But then when I accepted that I will not do it, I think this was as good as it could be. So I joined a media vessel or boat, following the top men's team and also the mixed team.
Okay. Yeah, because they're pretty close to the top men and the top mix, usually anyway.
Yeah, it was. So it was, but the men's category this year was so super excited. I was so close. I mean, they are out competing for 8-9 hours, and still it's like 3 minutes apart. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it was a bit different this year, wasn't it? Were you close on the first swim? Did you see what happened with Amanda?
Yeah, we actually picked up Hugo after the first swim when he exited the swim, because he finished the swim himself. So we didn't see what happened, but I got the information from Hugo that she, this swim is quite what you say. It's a lot of swimmers going in at the same time, so it's chaos, of course. So she got stuck with her arm in another swimmer, and I had never heard about this, and but her shoulder got dislocated, and then it popped back, and then she continued to try swimming, but she couldn't. The shoulder, I don't know if it was too much pain, because she can handle a lot of pain, she had proved before, but I think the shoulder got stuck or something, so she couldn't swim.
God.
Yeah.
And that must have been quite a surprise for you guys as well on the boat.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And Hugo and Amanda had a plan to take the overall win this race. So I know that they had planned for this and a big goal this year. So of course a disappointment. Yeah,
No. All part of it, isn't it? I suppose.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So, one water race were part of this year. How was that?
Yeah. So, like, it was incredible. It was so much more of experience and like an adventure than I thought in forehand. I was expecting much more pain and suffering, and more mental game than it was for us. Now we were only out for 38 hours. I'm sure if you stayed on the course until the finish line, you would have suffered more and probably even more mental game than we had during our hours. But
Mhm.
still, 38 hours is quite some time.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like the feeling afterward is that it's I want to do this again. It was an incredible experience.
brilliant. And what was the deciding factor in stopping?
The deciding factor was that it was too cold for one of the team, my husband particularly, and even I I was cold, and I'm pretty warm. I have never been cold in any swim run races, even not even like OtillO Ute 2021,
20, 22.
22,
Yeah, that was
22.
cold. Jesus.
That was cold, and I didn't even freeze. I mean, it was
Right.
cold, but I didn't freeze.
Yeah.
But
Right.
this, when you're doing this 4K swimming and it gets to
Mm,
you.
mm,
So, and we saw that Anders suffered from this cold quite early in the race. So I know that he really pushed himself.
mm,
So I saw in his eyes that this was as far as we could go this time.
mm. Yeah. Getting back into water when you are properly cold is
Mm.
it's yeah,
Yeah, it's
grim.
like the body. This like the body takes over the control, and eh, you don't want to go in the water, and when you get to that point you're probably not going into the water again.
Yeah.
And also my husband, he had an accident 2 years ago where he got really ill, so I'm more conscious of how much we can push him, and that's on my shoulders to bear.
Yeah. Okay. Has he got life insurance?
Yes, he has, and and we increased it.
Good stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Well done. 38 hours
Mm.
is longer than most people race, and, um, for sure. And particularly that style of racing. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see you again on that course.
Yeah, we hope
So,
so.
yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't know when you can apply, but we will we will for sure apply, and I think all four of us is longing for next year and hoping
cool.
for.
Brilliant. Brilliant. How was the food kind of, did you get the food right, do you think? The nutrition?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
So it's like in for our preparation we had food, like the food preparation was perfect, and we have tried what we like and everything, but we none of us have been out for so many hours, and we love cinnamon buns, but after a couple of hours you don't.
No.
So and also like the food we brought, like you can eat it uh, like 10, 11 hours, but after 30 it's hard, it's really
Hmm.
hard, and then you have to have like options. So I think we lacked on options for everyone.
Okay.
And also when you get lost in the darkness during the first night when we got lost there, Anders, who is responsible for the navigation, he of course focused on the navigation, and me
Mm.
and Alex were like trying to support him, but we should have reminded him of eating more often.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's a big fault that we did, and that's one of the things we will like improve for next year if we will do it again.
Mm.
So it's important to eat all the time, and of course we knew this before, and we
Mm.
talked about it before, that we will never ever step out from our nutrition plan. But yeah, you have, it's almost like you have to do this race to know what to
Yeah.
prepare for. And we
Yeah.
did our best, and that got us 38 hours in. So I think the teams that reached the finish line this year had done it before. And
Mm.
I think the other team that didn't, we didn't have that much experience. And I understood like afterwards that everyone was quite impressed that we reached so far, but we were like disappointed because we thought we were going to reach the finish line, of course.
Mm.
But for next year, we have more experience and a better plan. And I mean, this will then be the second time doing such a long race. Hopefully, that will help us to get to the door and touch it at Landsort.
Yeah.
But we will see.
Yeah. And for those that don't know what One Water Race is, just Google it. It's a long, long way. About 250k across the whole archipelago in
Mm,
Sweden, non-stop through the
mm.
night. We've had Thomas Ogander on, race director, a few episodes ago. So people who've listened probably heard me waffling on about it because it looks great. um,
Yeah,
yeah, and with the maps, the last thing about
mm,
the One
yeah.
Water Race. So you get given the maps, don't you, for each stage on the day when you get to that stage. Is that right?
Mm, mm.
And the
Yeah. So when you
checkpoints.
exactly,
Yeah.
so you have checkpoints in each stage, and it differs. Like it could be 2 or 5 or 6 or even
Mm.
more in one stage, and then the course is divided into 5 stages. So when you completed one stage, you get the maps for stage two, and
Hmm.
so on.
Yeah. So I guess it's a bit different to most other races where when you're planning in nutrition, you're not sure where you're going to go, do you, with this race? You don't know
No,
the length of the swims, the length of the
no.
runs, which bits are going to be nighttime. Well, you can roughly guess, I suppose, but
Yeah.
it's very dynamic and there's a lot of unknowns, aren't there? So
Yeah, it
yeah,
is,
it's tough.
and you have to be prepared of everything, and like you get a bit stupid after a couple of hours, and even if you planned, like if this happened, we'll do like that. But when you are tired and low on energy, you take stupid decisions, and that stupid decision, like 10 hours ago, will lead to like difficulties in the race
Hmm.
during the night, for
Hmm.
example. And it's hard to predict what will happen in 10 hours when, if I decide not to change my shoe because it hurts in the
Hmm.
beginning of the race, that will be really bad in like 20 hours.
Yeah.
So we had discussed all this before, but this is the first time we actually like experience it. So we will be even more um, strict on, like, if you have problems, we have to solve it immediately. And Anders' suit got damaged in a branch early in the race, and he was like, no, 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 I'm not cold. It doesn't matter. And we had, like, we work on arc, so we
Hmm.
had a lot of suits with us. We
Hmm.
could have swapped suits every swim if we wanted to, but
Hmm.
that was a stupid decision not to change his suit. And he was cold much earlier than me and Alex. And yeah, we learn. Next year we will change the suit immediately, for
Yeah.
example.
And
So we
put the
have a
old
lot
one.
of, yes, exactly. And we have a lot of like these small things that we know led up to this decision that Anders couldn't continue due to his hypothermia. So yeah, and also we learn like, so the breakfast after this race, when we had slept and we had eaten a good breakfast, we sat down and talked, and Anders is telling me like, yeah, we could have actually swam to the first island. And we were like, no, what are you saying? Like, that's what we told you during the whole, during the, when we were talking to you. But he was so like turned off, and he couldn't see the possibilities. So we got really annoyed at him at the breakfast. Like, no, you can't say that. Like, because we get angry on him. No, we're
Yeah.
not. But you
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
understand
yeah.
what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So Anders was the main navigator.
Yeah.
Is that right? And he was the one that got cold
Yes.
first, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough. Being the navigation responsibility. It's another resource part of your brain, isn't it? And then you might give up a little bit on sorting out your bits and bobs that you need to sort out because you're worried about nav. Yeah, that's yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And also, Anders as a person, he doesn't like to ask for help.
yeah.
So then it's really tricky, because he would have, like, he need to ask for everything that he wants, and he will have a year to practice that at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, so Arc Sports, Helen. Well, before
Yes.
Arc Sport, were you swim running before Arc Sports was founded?
So Arc Sports were founded 2017. And I wasn't involved. There were three guys, and Christopher Sundberg and Daniel Sand is still on board. In 2018, I tried swim run for the first time,
Right.
and then I asked. I saw this YouTube clip from OtillO 2017, when it was really stormy and super cool, and I saw Christine and Daniel wearing this super cool black suit with no brand at all. They were just totally black, and if you zoomed in on the pictures, you could see Arc. That was the only thing you saw. So I Googled it and found an Instagram account and wrote to Arc like, hey, you already have world champs sponsoring them. What about like an ordinary 35-year-old mother of three? And they were, yeah, that sounds great. Call me on Monday. And I did. And so I started as an ambassador for the brand. And after a year, I quit my like normal job, and then I didn't have a plan, and Arc was so small, so they couldn't give me a job. But I lost the passion for my ordinary job, and I knew that I had to work like with training and swim run or something like that. And after 4 months, Arc Sports asked me if I wanted to work for them.
Cool.
So I had 4 months just training. It was
Wow.
amazing. Yeah.
So that was like 2018, 2019.
That was 2019. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so what was your first one then? 2018. Where was that?
That was Croatia in Var.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first one. And then I did Ute in 2018, and also the World Championship in 2018. And But for 2019, it was I think I did them all almost. Not I Love
Right.
Silly, but all the OtillO races, and as much as small races in Sweden as well during 2019. That was like my really racing year.
Yeah. You got quite a lot of podiums under your belt as well, haven't you?
I have some.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I
Good,
have.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, which always helps with testing the brand, testing the kit at the
Yeah.
front end.
Yeah.
And
So that's one part of the work with Arc Sports that I really really love, and yeah, that's so much fun to evolve the equipment that we use. And since it's such a new sport, fairly new sport, we can like really explore the limits of all the products.
yeah. No, I mean, I mentioned quite a lot how good the arc suits are, particularly, well, I was going to say particularly running, but swimming as well. But the flexibility in the legs is outstanding, really.
Yeah, I think still that we are one of the few that have removed the neoprene from the legs, and instead of having neoprene in the legs, we choose to have this mega pull buoy instead. And but I think more and more brands will follow that example.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised more haven't. Is it? What
Yeah.
is that? Why is that? Do you think? Just
I think that they don't practice swimrun themselves,
yeah.
and they are not really like involved in the sport. And but this is just me guessing. But I think that we are like that's the one of our like USPs. Do you say that? Like one of our really big advantage
USP.
is
Is
that,
it?
yeah,
Yeah,
USP.
yeah, yeah. Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So it's that we actually compete.
yeah.
We test all the suits. We know if something is good or bad, and we try to be a bit in advance as well, and following and listening to all the swim runners. And since we are on all these events and practice a lot where we live as well, so then
Yeah,
we can listen to everyone if they
yeah.
have and a lot of swim runners have a lot of ideas and innovations, and it's amazing to listen to all ideas during a workout. I often there are some ideas every workout, so you just have to like try them out. And since we are a very very small company, we have the possibilities to, okay, let's try this, and later it's just finding our ways really easy.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got your fingers on the pulse of swim run archive,
Yeah.
whereas I've seen over the years, more so about 5 or 6 years ago, some swim run suits where I've looked at them and thought that
Mm.
a swim runner hasn't designed that suit, or they had whoever's made
Yeah.
that doesn't swim run.
No.
So
And
yeah.
also so it's great to hear athletes that have been using one brand for a long time, and like being let's say being sponsored of a brand, and not have the possibility to try out arc suit before, and then now like 4 5 years later trying it, and it's like, wow, it's such a different and so much easier to run and also swim in, and that's amazing. And we need to like be ahead to continue because we want to be one of the biggest brand in swimrun.
Yeah. And I noticed you've got your goat swim specific suit as well, just for swimming. And is it
Mm.
Nikki? I think you guys sponsor Nikki Bartlett. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah, I
we do.
thought so.
We do. We do.
Yeah, she's doing well. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she's great.
Yeah. That's the goat, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
That
the
suit.
goat.
Yeah.
Mm, mm.
Why is it called the goat?
So all these names that we have on our products is just like brainstorming, sitting in the office and being tired, drinking too much coffee, and goat is also one of the names. So that's the owner of the company. He thought that goat was a great name, like greatest of them all. So
Okay.
that's it's so
Why
easy.
not?
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
Simple.
Yeah,
Yeah. Why not?
it's hard to get a better name. Like next, what would that be if the suit is better than the goat? What's that? Like,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
What is? Yeah. Good question. Moose, maybe.
moose. Yeah, sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay. So I've noticed. So on your suits, okay,
Mm.
the sizing. So generally, if you're on the border between, say, small and medium, the advice is to go for the small, right? Yeah.
Yes.
From the British people I've spoken to, it they feel like it's a quite it's quite a small, quite a tight. Because I was on the border between small and medium actually on the sizing,
Mm.
so I went for a
Mm.
small Vig originally, and
Mm.
it fits, but
Yeah.
it's super 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 tight.
Yeah.
Not too much of a problem on the upper body, but the legs get quite tight.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a consideration. I know you want people to be quite tight in them because you don't want the water getting in and cooling, because they're not super. Obviously, for the flexibility, I've got loads of neoprene, so part of that, I guess, is to have it quite tight fitting, so
Yeah.
it's
So
stream.
that's
Yeah.
like the whole idea with our suits compared to other one is that we can keep it super thin,
Yeah.
and you can still be warm as you don't want the water to leak in. So when the water leak in, it doesn't matter how thick suit you have, you will get cold by the water. So that's why we can keep it so thin. But that's also, then you have to choose a really tight suit. So if you choose a bigger suit, the water will leak in and you will get cold, and then it won't be fun to swim on. So that's the reason of us saying that you should go to the smaller one if you are in between. But this is like the biggest problem with the suits. You have neoprene; it's super flexy. So I'm 173 centimeter and weigh about 73 kilo. And I can use a small suit. I can also use a small tall. I can use a medium, and I can use a medium tall. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But since the size guide is so fixed, you get stuck. So I have to have a small. But it depends on. And so instead of this small, tall, medium, we should probably like have fruits, a banana and an apple and a melon
Yeah.
or whatever, to not get fixed about the suit size, because even, and also men, women, uh, you and me could have the same built body.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know. It doesn't matter if I'm a woman. I can be super straight and no forms or chest or like, so we have to be open-minded when we look at this sizing table, and not because for us it's like everyone wants a small or a medium, but we also have a size in between, small, tall.
Yeah.
And in stock usually we have like two small, two medium, and 40 small, tall. No one
Right.
wants the small, tall. But if you are in between small and medium, you could actually choose small, tall, because the centimeters that differs from the different sizes, you, I mean, even if it's like a couple of centimeters longer in the torso, for example, the suit will be bigger. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that you have to be taller. The centimeters will fit on your body, like embracing your body, because it's so flexible. So I think people are a bit afraid to go really small, to have it too snug,
Yeah.
or and but you shouldn't. You should choose a size that feels a bit uncomfortable. Then it will be perfect, because when you run, you will have the zipper down, and it will feel amazing when you run. And then when you swim, you will change your position to horizontal, and then the
Hmm.
feeling will be totally different from when you're standing in the hallway watching the mirror, trying out this new super tight suit.
It's a good point.
So yeah, and I wish I could talk to everyone that tried the suits at home, and give them advice, because I understand it's difficult, and it's a lot of money as well. So, but unfortunately, I can't.
No, no. But no, that makes a lot of sense actually, because as you say, most of the runs, unless it's maybe Gothenburg where you're in and out quick, or but
Yeah.
yeah, mostly you'll be zipped down for the run. So
Mm.
yeah, you don't have to worry too much about that tightness. Yeah,
No,
makes
and
sense.
also the water will make the suit a little bit more loose
Yeah,
when you swim. So it should feel uncomfortable in when you take it on the first time. It should be, yeah, like it's too tight. That's
yeah.
the right feeling.
Well, I'm happy, very happy with my medium Uto, which yeah is perfect
Medium
for me.
Ute, yeah.
Very
Ute
happy.
is a good suit.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, yeah.
That one again. I mean, I've got an idea for developments, but before I say what, are there any ideas coming up? We might see new things coming out.
Yes, for sure. We're working all the time. New paddles, new pool boys. The next drop will be. I haven't told anyone this,
Oh,
but let's go.
let's go.
In October, we'll release some swimwear, like
Oh, nice.
for indoor training,
Hmm.
or for you can use it at the beach if you want.
Hmm. Yeah,
But yeah, it's really nice, super great fabrics, and exclusive materials. It will be
cool.
fast in the pool.
Okay. And I heard a rumor the pontoon ball boy was coming back. Is that true? I
No,
don't know who said that. No. Okay.
no, no, not at the moment. Uh, No, not at the
No.
moment. I mean, if we get a lot of requests for it, we can bring it back. As I said, we're a very small company, so we are very flexible. We will move with the flow. So
Hmm.
if the swim runners are screaming that they want it, for sure. But
Hmm.
at the moment, keel is yeah, the priority for
Yeah.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. Great ball boys.
You
The
do
only
you
reason,
use the ponton?
well, I know I bought a pontoon for my brother-in-law a few years back when his toddler was chewing his foam pull boy.
Oh,
It was yeah, his little boy was chewing it. So I thought, I'll
yeah.
get him a pontoon because they're more robust. I suppose the only advantage with it, they're pretty robust, aren't they? They're not. I
Yeah.
don't think they're not as good as the keel. I don't think.
No.
But if you want a robust toddler-proof
Yeah.
pull boy, I
Then
guess.
it's the ponton. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was not really an idea, but it's just something that could be an idea. Well, two things. Nutrition is becoming more with the one water race, the world champs, longest things going on. Carrying of nutrition, obviously, you've got your kangaroo. The kangaroo top guys is a base layer with big pockets. Um, the wetsuits, the arc wetsuits have got pockets in the back, of course, for whatever.
And
Um,
inside.
And inside, those, that is true. But it seems like there's possibly more work to be done on nutrition carrying. I don't know, for the really long races. What do you think?
Yeah. Uh, for one water race, you have a boat following you,
Yeah.
so we don't need to carry that much.
Okay. Yeah.
For OtillO, of course, there's a lot of nutrition to be carried around if you don't want to gamble and eat what they serve. But so when Una, which was the first suit that we released, Daniel Sand, who is the designer, he wanted to keep it as clean, as simple as possible. So the first suit we launched didn't have any pockets at all. And then we added one in the back, and then we added two inside. And I see some people that have pockets on the legs. But we have done testing, and that will slow you down during the swims.
Absolutely.
So I got a photoshopped picture of the Kiel pool boy that you couldn't open it and put your nutrition inside. That's a great idea, but probably not something we could do, unfortunately. But I don't want to. I shouldn't say this, but because you never know which turn we'll take. Maybe we can add a pocket inside the suit somewhere else. But you also you don't want to. If you have too much inside, you will ruin the like smoothness in the water, and we should be careful with that.
Yeah. And the danger, the more pockets you've got, the more people want to put stuff in them, and that you don't necessarily need. Like I just say,
No.
I personally don't wear a kangaroo top.
No.
Because I don't, for some reason, I don't like
too
much on. And if I need to carry more stuff, I have a little, like a bum bag, like a race belt inside the wetsuit that sits quite nicely. So, yes, there's ways around it, isn't there? And it's nice.
Probably you should just adapt and buy a kangaroo top.
Yes. I thought you might say that. I probably will.
Yeah, that's the solution for you.
Yeah.
Are you doing the OtillO World Champs, or what are you preparing for?
I did it last year, and fine, nutrition wise. My partner, I had a kind of a kangaroo top I was given by another company that you will have known. And he wore that one, and I just used my bum bag and various bits and bobs. I used the pockets and on the Arc suit, and it was fine.
But it's great to be out on the races, and even the smaller one. I mean, for the OtillO race, it seems like most of the people uses almost the same thing. But for the smaller races, when the people there can be quite innovative, and we can get some ideas, and I love to discuss improvement and product developments with swim runners, and often I get emails about ideas and thoughts, and that's what like making Arc grow. It's not just me and Daniel and Alex who have all the ideas. We're watching all the photos after the races and see if we can get some ideas. It's great. So it's good that you talking to me about this.
Maybe have you got Arc bum bags?
Arc bum bags.
Yeah.
You don't have me really there, but I see a lot of problems.
For lifestyle. No, I don't necessarily mean for racing. Just for life.
For life. Arc for life. I think that's the new logo, right?
Yeah.
We stop with Archipelago Proven and have Arc for Life instead.
Yeah, simple. I like it. Yeah, I remember an orc, and I'll mention them because I didn't rate the suits. They're not competition. I don't think for you guys. An orca swim run suit that had these big pockets on the outside of the legs, on the front of the
Yes.
legs, massive
Mm.
things they were,
Mm.
and people were putting all sorts in them. And
Mm.
I just thought, who's come up with that one?
Yeah. Mm.
But yeah,
But I can understand, like it's also good that people are testing stuff, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's really bad. But it's amazing that people are like trying out their ideas themselves. Also, I mean, I see all different kind of paddles and pull boys, and
yeah,
they have renewed the suits in their specific ways that they want to
yeah,
have it. And
yeah,
for example, I mean, the pocket on the legs for a person that doesn't really care about their time and doesn't really care about their swimming, if it gets slower or not, then it's maybe a good way
yeah.
for them to carrying what they need,
True,
although
true.
they should have a kangaroo top.
Yeah,
So we just be clear there.
leave that. One other thing I've noticed at the OtillO races now is the little pocket at the top of the vest, the race bib for the GPS tracker, which I think's great. A great development.
Mm.
But I suppose that works as it is. You probably don't want to put that in the top of your wetsuit.
No, and maybe, I mean, that's an unnecessary cost for the swim runners, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah,
And if the GPS stop function, then the race organization need to swap that, and maybe it's trickier to do that in the suit. But it's funny that you mentioned it, because I was actually thinking about this this morning, that we have this kangaroo top, and in that one it's easier to add like GPS pocket in the back. And I just this morning sent a photo to Daniel about how that could have been designed.
no,
So we're working all day with it's I have an incredible job.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Best job, I think.
Best job.
So, what's? Have you got any more races this year, Helen?
Um, yes, I have, but I have decided to not go crazy since one water race. I wanted to give myself a bit of slack. I know I tend to like book the all races I can because I love it so much, but in the end I get super tired. So this year I've been more careful, and I will do the OtillO Can. I don't have any partner yet. Because I'm afraid of asking someone. I want to compete in the women's category, but I don't know my fitness. I don't know which level I am. Since this year, I have focused on duration and not really speed. So I'm what are you saying? I'm thinking about which level I could be on, and then I will ask someone. I like to compete. This year I haven't done a race like when I really competed, but I think that's what I'm after now.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. And hopefully I'm going to Texas, till Texas.
Austin, in Austin there. Brilliant.
Yeah, I would love to go there. I'm trying to convince my family that it's a super duper vacation.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they think about it.
Okay.
My kids
Good.
will also compete in the OtillO Can.
Oh, cool. How old are they?
They are 11. Two of them. I have three.
Right, 11. Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
looking at I was looking at the junior suits. My boy's probably not quite ready. He's only 3, but
Yeah.
I will get him one maybe next year. He's quite tall, So yeah, maybe
Yeah,
next year.
yeah. Then it's a junior. So my kids are too big, so they use small now.
Right.
They're so
Cool.
big. They're not kids anymore, almost.
No. And they'll be doing the. Will they do the experience or the sprint?
No,
What's
they have asked to do the sprint. They have done a couple of experience races before, and this last year and this year they did a smaller race here in Sweden, which were 15K.
right?
So they want to do the sprint. It's 13K in Cannes,
Cool.
and they want to do it themselves. So my husband will follow them, like in the back. He will not be with them, but like following them.
Okay. Or
Yeah.
trying to keep up.
Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Cool. Okay. Well, brilliant. Well, sounds good. We'll look out for you in Cannes. And
Yeah. Will you be there?
I, I, I don't know. Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Have you
see.
been there?
I did it in 2022, I think it was. Yeah. It was great. I loved the first half of the course.
Yeah.
That start was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And running around the
Yeah.
trails there. Then through the city, I wasn't. It was all right. It was okay. Then it went a bit
Mm-hmm.
jungle, which was cool. Then I got a
Yeah. It's
mass.
cool.
Yeah, it's a cool. It's an interesting course. Really cool race
Mm-hmm. Mm.
location.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was a
I
great
think
weekend.
the like when you finish, then it's great. I
Yeah,
mean the after swim run hang around,
yeah,
and you can talk about your race and eating good food, and I think the OtillO organization have done that so great.
yeah.
Mm.
It's like the kind of film star swim run, isn't it? Afterwards,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, we'll see. I might see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. Cool. Well, I won't be going to Texas
No,
this year, but
no, maybe
there's
next
a
year.
lot going on in America. Need to get
Yeah,
out there.
it's yeah. I really want to go there and see how they have developed, because it's happened a lot these 2 last years.
Mm,
And it would be fun to meet all the Americans also.
yeah.
I follow a lot of the people on Instagram, so it would be fun to meet them in person.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And last thing would France. It's obviously booming in France, isn't it? And the two French champions, world champions, champion du
Yes.
monde
Hmm.
now. Um, really, and I guess Khan will be super competitive.
Yeah, probably.
Do you think like the federation there has kind of had an input and seems to encourage triathletes into the sport?
Mm.
Can you see other countries going down that road or what? Because in the UK, it's
Yeah,
swim run's still pretty small, and it's yeah. I was just wondering how can people, because France are doing great, and they're now the world champions. Yeah, so they're doing something right,
mm,
aren't they?
mm, yeah, yeah,
In terms of
and
competition.
young,
Yeah,
yeah, and they seem to attract younger people as well.
yeah,
In Sweden, it's quite like, yeah, I won't name the ages, but it's almost the same people doing the races all the time.
yeah,
But in France, it seems like it's attracting younger and new people, and they are doing something really great. And I think for swimrun, it's like, should we go with the federation situation, or should we continue be this flexible, free, and like a community more? I think to grow and to make sure that we have like a next generation going on, maybe we should consider this another option. and maybe to use the triathlon that already exists and just include swimrun in that one, or I don't know, but
Yeah.
it seems like that's a good option, at least looking at the point of like growing the sport.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know much about Swedish triathlon, but I'm guessing because it's Scandinavia, they're pretty free. And, in Britain, British triathlon's kind of a little bit, how's the word?
Yeah. You don't
Not
even have to use that word. I
no.
understand.
Yeah. Whereas Swedish triathlon, is that kind of more relaxed? I don't know. Is it,
No,
was
I
it?
don't know compared to other countries, but for for uh, um, me as a swimrunner, triathlon is really strict, and you should follow the rules, and that's of course is important. It's I mean, with the bike, it's more dangerous, and you need to have. It's a lot of people. You have to keep it in a box.
Yeah.
So it's hard to fit in swimrun because we like the one of the best things with swimrun is that it's free. You can do it anywhere. You don't have to have a fast a already set course. You can change it. If it's cold, you can shorten the swim. If it's
Yeah.
warm, you can longer the swim, and so on. And I think it's hard maybe to adapt that into a federation, that you need rules, you need something for a community to follow, and
Yeah.
I don't know, it's not my decision.
No.
I'm happy for that.
Yeah. 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 Cool. Well, Helen, thank you very much for coming on,
Yeah,
and
thank you for
hopefully
having me.
see you soon. And keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and you continue to uh, give me ideas about product development. It's good. I'm
I will
thankful
for
for
sure.
everything.
No worries.
Yeah,
Hey,
great.
door.
Hey, door.
Hey, door.
Good.
There we go. Helen, thank you. And hey, door, for our no Swedish speaking listeners. Hey, door means goodbye in Swedish. And that's 25% of my Swedish vocab used. So it's good to use it. Yeah, wetsuits, big topic. A topic close to my heart, really, because I've been on the journey. I feel like I have, from 2014, where I wore a full length legs and arms, a 1 mil suit for OtillO 2014, which worked fine. Yeah, 1 mil's pretty flexible. And then did various variations of wetsuits for 3 or 4 years, non-specific to swimrun, and then had my first swimrun specific suit in, I think it was June 2017. And yeah, I've seen the development, and Arc wetsuits are definitely, for me, the best swimrun wetsuits out there that I've tried. But of course, if I was coming to the sport from scratch again, I probably wouldn't. I'm not the kind of guy who buys the best bit of kit straight away. I'd probably experiment a bit to start with, and then 3 or 4 years down the line, I'd buy an Arc suit. I think that's how it would work. I have mentioned before, I tend to use my Arc OtillO for racing only, and train in all the other neoprene outfits I've got. As it keeps the Arc one nice and protected, if you like, for race day. A bit like, I suppose, if you do a triathlon and you've got a winter bike and a TT bike. I know people use the TT bike for racing, and anyway, I don't really know that much about bikes, so I'll leave that one there. Well done to everyone at the World Champs, of course. Big shout out to the Brits. Chris Goodfellow, 14th position, racing with Eric from Sweden. I know Chris had a twisted knee somewhere along the race, but he powered on through. Bill and Chrissy Langford, top 40. Well done, guys. Piers and Claire Valance, 14th position in the mixed category. Jennifer Bryant and Alistair Taus, another top 20 in the mixed category for GB. So there we go. We're going to, one day, we're going to be on the top of the podium, guys. We just got to get some, well, probably need some more young blood in the sport, I think. Well done to the French guys out there. I think they had 4 French teams in the top 6 or something like that. Lots of them. And Ben Teesmeyer, big shout out, former guest of the show and fellow, well, inspirational goggleless racing man, racing with Delia. I know he had some sickness, but he was 6th in the mixed category. So well done, Ben. And Dovey X, Amanda, by the way, you'll come back stronger. You know that. Hugo, you probably needed a rest. So there we go. Celevi, what else is happening? Yes, Dovey X swim run took place on Sunday, just gone. And we're going to have a full proper race report review chat with someone who was at the front of the pack for quite a bit of time and then took an epic wrong turn. Anyway, more to come on that one. Anyone who's racing this weekend, Oxford is happening. Swimrun Jersey down in the English Channel, that's happening too. Loads of stuff. Coniston the week after. The Eliminator, 28th of September. The Survivor, 29th of September. There's loads of stuff going on. Check out britishswimrun.org for all the races, the race calendar, and the rankings that some people are interested in, the individual and team rankings for the UK. Just a note on the Eliminator, and probably applies to the Survivor too. Although they sound quite aggressive names for races, they're not. They're really friendly. They are like proper beginner swim runs. Yeah, but if you're a performance swim runner, of course, you'll have a time to shine in the final lap. But yeah, I wanted to make the point because someone asked me. Well, he said, "I'd like to enter, but I don't think I'll get past the first lap." Well, I can tell you that he would. I know him. He's a good enough runner and a good enough swimmer. He'd make it to lap 4 without a problem. And it's amazing that he thought he wouldn't make it past the first lap. So, yeah, don't worry about that. It's the first lap in the Eliminator and the second lap and the third lap are very, very doable in the time frame. The idea really was to make it more racy than lap 5 and lap 6. And I guess Survivor will be the same. The first 30% of laps, I guess, will be relatively easy for most to get to the next one. And then it'll get spicy towards the last kind of 2-3 laps. I'm not sure. How am I basing that? Well, I'm basing it on all the swim runs I've done across the UK in particular, looking at the average speed of folks. And that's how I've kind of done it. And based on my speed as well, I've done it so that I think I'd get to lap 5, but I might not get to lap 6. So that's how I've done it. And I'm not super fast. I'm just okay. My main strength is actually getting in and out of water. So yeah, get involved, guys. And you learn, I've said this before, but you learn so much at races, more than any other environment. Even workshops are great. Podcasts are great. Reading videos, awesome. But there's nothing quite like doing it. And there's nothing quite like seeing your friends or new friends you meet on the day racing in the kit they've got, chatting afterwards, before, during a race. Honestly, that's how you do it. So anyway, thanks for listening. And if you do like the show, like it, subscribe, share it, all that stuff. And yeah, good luck to anyone racing in September. Hopefully see you soon.